We will be on the plane onto Vikendi, and make sure keep the seats clean, keep your peanuts to yourself because all action is going to be all out. You don't want to drop the peanuts and drinks all in the flight.
I can't hold it. I got that on a different perspective, entirely a different one. But never mind. We have the feature players here, and Lynx, and then Atsai, Trix, YKV. But I tell you that he had the 5-digit. Gideon just lost it because I.
Okay, I have to clarify that. But wait a second. Wait, who is this?
Wait,
no,
it's Emmy! Wait, Emmy looks exactly the same. What the heck?
Yeah.
Well, he's still 19 years old, if I'm not mistaken. He's among one of the youngest casters we have today.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
it's crazy
man.
how young this guy used to be.
Oh, he looks like
Rata! Alright, let's look at this because the circle is a little less forgiving this time, even though that the flight path was very skewed towards the left side. The circle, however, is not. But we gotta thank our observers. Thank you, XCYR, Zai, Topcast, and Engek as well. We're watching you, Topcast. 6 more games to go.
Okay, now to clarify with Chuchu, what do you have in mind earlier?
Are we going that back?
These
Like
are one of those moments. These are one of those moments where you really question. Like I remember, if I remember correctly, while you know everybody, there isn't much of a debacle, so I can't tell this story. Where I was looking for top casting fails for other sports, and I'm pretty sure that there was a basketball match where a guy went, "Oh man, this guy was out of his cotton picking mind." That was the craziest line I've heard. This is just below that.
Keep your peanuts to yourself.
Keep your peanuts to yourself. Excuse you very much.
And he has no clue about it.
I just had to say it, right? It just came natural to be like, guys, keep your peanuts to yourself.
Oh my goodness me.
You said it so fast that it could have easily been misconstrued. Oh god. Okay, let's go. Let's focus on the game here. Enough of us messing around. Bapak, Bard, they're going to be taking control of this area. However, the Dingoz are in the wake. They are prone down. They don't want to be spotted out. And this is going to be a very scary position for the Dingoz because I don't think they're that looted up.
Oh, that's a bold spot. There's no way he can hide himself. Not much bushes to hide on. There you go, but that was not even any effort to get that kill. They will just jump away and go from another compound to another because apparently they don't want to keep this fight going. They have, some of them don't even have any gears at all.
Yeah, and Bapak are making a very smart decision, quickly hopping into one car. Even though it is a little risky if they go into another team and get gunned down and blow that car up, it's going to be a full squad wipe. I think this is the right call to get on out of there.
Okay, and now we do see here. Look.
What was that stats? You just have to put out the picture and no stats.
I think it might have bugged out a little. I think the program might have bugged out a little bit there. But don't worry, we'll get the stats once it's back up. But looking over here, FV versus Divinity, they're in the same town again.
Well, I'd say these two teams are quite equal in terms of like how they've been performing recently, at least in recent days as well. So these two teams in the same compound will be quite interesting to see them go head to head if they choose to go and do that. But it looks like both teams actually respecting each other's compound, have that invisible line. So you stay on your side, I stay on my side.
But back to stats, a grenade kill will hit. I think maybe by tomorrow we're going to hit 100 marks there. I don't think we will actually have to wait by the end of this week. But back to the current state of the circle. Axis have to push and grind through so many teams. Gatekeeping is none other than Team Secret around Goroka. Based on their game style, usually they won't camp it out for Team Secret. Maybe they will rush into coal mine as soon as they finish off with the first phase of looting and not gonna overstay themselves there because apparently Bigetron is kind of in the way just around Villa. Those actually on the southern side here, Winery, have a really good long journey to go for, especially Bapak, Dingoz, and Resurgence themselves.
I don't know. I feel like Team Secret, they play based on they have a particular structure, and once people figure out the structure, it's going to be a lot easier to take them out. But so far, Team Secret, I do feel like at a certain point of time, when the circle starts closing in, the next circle is about to be determined, they start to make a move, and I think just through the west side of Coal Mine is going to be a great position to kind of hide on those hilltops and kind of look over the rest of the map because gatekeeping in this particular circle on the southern side is going to be hard with so many teams wanting to go in. So if you're one gatekeeper, it's going to be tough when you're going against 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 teams.
We've seen that in Miramar before. It didn't turn out well for them because apparently they ran down, their currency went down really fast, really low, and they don't have anything else but just taking all the damage coming out from every side.
Yeah, that's quite true as well. So a lot of eyes will definitely be on Team Secret. I'm sure the community is also concerned, especially for Team Secret fans out there. Yes, they are holding a very strong position in terms of points, but then again, it is still the middle of the league. Like, you still want to keep that momentum going. You want to have that gap. At least if you go to into the last week of the league, you want to have that comfort zone as well. You don't want to be like, oh, okay, someone's behind us tailing and all that worry, right? So, yeah, although you're at top 16, but you want to be in that position, like position of power.
But at the same time, you cannot underestimate these teams because apparently they just suddenly come out of nowhere and happens to just pop themselves up on the standings. For example, today we're looking at Resurgence, and on the side of Divinity, they haven't got themselves chicken dinner yet, but they're really in the need of loot because they are really low in terms of everything else, and they have to find themselves a nice compound to work with. And apparently they are divided into 2 pairs here because they have no choice. Apparently the loot that they're going on for their first drop compound doesn't seem to be enough for the rest of the team.
Well, they have a pan at least.
Yes! That's all you need! The victory through panning. Depending on how this pans out, we're going to have to see whether or not they're going to get looted enough for the rest of the team to really get locked and loaded into this game, because this particular circle is going to force them to move around a lot, so there is an opportunity. However, other teams are also going to be looting along the way, so hopefully I would say the scraps are going to be useful here.
We've seen this T-Rex before, but
We've seen the outer one.
Yeah, that one was chocolate. This one like what, whitish gray. But yeah, I've heard a couple of free fires there. Apparently Tara got into Divinity's compound. I think it's the reverse. They got into Tara's compound here, trying to challenge that with a nade will be tossed out very soon. Cooking it up, making sure it will land on top of that. They forced Tara out of the position. It was a nice waiting coming up from the rest of Team Divinity. Juggernaut tried to rush in on the second floor here. Managed to clean kill that one out. And I think they are jumping to another compound for Tara, because this seems like will be a flush on the side of Divinity, really favoring them.
Yeah, they got to be careful. The grenades are coming out from Tara. They're kind of surrounding them in different areas. I think Tara has a really nice position. Divinity have to kind of spread out here. If not, grenades are going to be so much more impactful. But Tara, Lynx, he's already popped down the smoke. He got a couple of shots off. It did sort of connect. However, the rest of Divinity are going back into the structure, playing around what they know best.
And Impact is on the outside. Looks like Impact. Looks like he'll be knocked down. Looks like Divinity now is in trouble. Trixie is the only one left standing. Insanity now looks like he will still stand for his teammate. Trixie looks like he's in trouble now. He's only 10% life left. He will be knocked down. Insanity will be the last one standing. 1 against pretty much 4 at this point. Sanity, he'll need to make a run for it. Sanity will try to make a run for it, but it looks like he lets the vehicle go. He'll go for the second vehicle. No, he goes back in, but Sanity will be eliminated, and Divinity is the first team to be sent back to the lobby.
Is blue color kind of jinx, because those teams actually with blue color tags will have to find themselves the first one to be out. Well, last game was H2O, this time it's Divinity. So apparently, well,
Speaking of H2O,
yeah, there you
Traitor
go.
is blue as well, just saying.
Oh, that's that's true. That's true. The coincidences haven't stopped yet. But, you know, checking out H2O, let's see how they want to take the situation against Team Secret, who pretty much have a secure perimeter around the area. And if they don't, you know, especially for H2O, if they don't either rush it or get an initial headshot on any of them to down and even out the scales, I don't know. Looks like Team Secret technically should be okay.
Well, that's the fight that we all want to see, right? H2O, another team rushing on the Team Secret and see how it goes. But look at this airdrop in the middle of the water again. Well, is anyone gonna pick this up?
DBS, really? Why are there so many DBS drops here? I do want to see AWM sometimes, or even a Groza would be okay. But back to H2O, Team Secret kind of want to surround this team every corner possible. You can see how they reposition themselves in terms of U-High getting at the back of Biu. There's also iShots on the higher ground there. Matcha probably just going to be the bait and distract every possible attention towards himself while the rest of the team will rush in from the back. But wait, KV kind of can sniff what's gonna happen. Something smells fishy around here. Pango gonna do the same thing. But like I said, they won't budge when it comes to H2O being rushed in. You see? It just stays.
Yeah, they're just holding the position 4 now, but H2O covering 2 buildings here. Bu is going to be the first to kind of scout out. Matoy has a really far right angle there onto H2O. Looks like Bapak is going to be joining the fight real soon. They're decently far away. They should have hurt that grenade, and it looks like they're making their way towards this area. Now, Matoy, I think he has to pull back, noticing that, oh, more vehicles are on the way here. Something might be up. Let's kind of pull back and create our firing line.
Oh, this is like what Chuchu used to say. Like, if an opponent is nearby you, what do you do now? Now everyone's at the stalemate firstly, and secondly was H2O that actually got into the compound first. But now you get yourself into the compound. Then what's next? Like everyone just stands still.
Yeah, I'm hoping somebody to go up big a bit from the window pane at least, making sure they got a little bit of information of which team coming in, or at least which direction it is coming from, and based on the throwing of the nades here. There's also so many. Look at that, another nade being thrown off here and did not even try to budge. But I do get that because apparently they cornered every possible entry point and also exit route for the Team Secret. And they tried to flush it out, but at the same time, if they actually overstayed here, we do know Bapak is waiting just around the corner.
Bapak doesn't seem like they want to engage just yet. They're hearing the shots, but I think it's not looking too good no matter what. So they're going to kind of just wait and see how this ends up before they go in for the hard engage. H2O still 4 against 4. Both sides not. Oh, Pengo actually going down. Now it's a 4v3 situation. Yuhai gets the initial knockdown, and they're slowly pulling through. Bubu is the next to fall as the rest of the team whips out the micro Uzis. They have to start rushing up the stairs. The second floor is completely caught down, but a great shot coming in from iShots taking out YKV.
This is the moment they saw the kill fit. What's happening? And now Bapak, without wasting any more time, no, they are really low in terms of resources. This is the time they're actually coming and rushing, stomping the ground on Team Secret. They are coming from side of 6 here, going in the flanks, succeeded on the back. On the rest of the team, try to segregate themselves, getting a better position.
Oh, now we do see Yuhai here against 6. Looks like 6 managed to drop down Yuhai. Yuhai has been knocked down. So will be finished off by 6 very likely, but not yet. He pops out the first AK, but looks like he'll be knocked on the other side. And iShots now coming. Jenny as well will be knocked. And looks like Jenny will need to get inside there. Oh, position's not good for Trixie. And now 6 is the only team member left. 6 will need to fend this off, but 6 is all alone right there. Looks like another one is coming in, but Bigetron is coming on the other side. 6 looks like he's now low. 10% now, and 6 will be sent back. Papa eliminated early.
But this is not going to be easy for Team Secret because we know just arrived here Bigetron, apparently with all full HP, coming to wipe the rest of Team Secret. This is a disastrous moment because it seems like he just had a minor victory. Minor victories, mind you, that 2 wars in a row, and they have to take a third one now. Bilby and the rest of the team have to rest it out today. Not a great coming back. That Secret just almost had it. Somebody else have to butt in.
They just didn't clear fast enough, and Bapak, even though they did win against Bapak, Bigetron coming in from the flank. Wow, how long were they waiting to actually capitalize on this?
Oh, I have to give a lot of respect to Team Secret because we thought they cannot take a fight against Bapak, who apparently I think is twice in a row now in Vikendi.
CQC as well.
They failed in the CQC against Bapak. You remember last time Bapak just went in where they have miscomms, and the same thing happened now again. But back to the game, Resurgence try to get on one of the teams of FV here. I don't think this is actually a contest to begin with because Small Boy just spotted out the last survival. Maybe they have one more person here. Sleep is already sleeping on the ground, and the rest of them actually crawling. Resurgence on the other end, quite low as well.
FV only have Akido left, but he is not in the same area as the other team members of FV. So it looks like Akido, he is way outside there. He will need to survive. He's being the last team member of FV. Resurgence, they do still know that there's one more team member. They will try to find out in the compound, but looks like they do know that Akido made a run for it. Akido looks like he'll be safe for now. Try to hang on to that position for this team.
They have to hold their ground for now, but unfortunately that means that Resurgence is going to completely wipe the rest of the FV squad, leaving Kiddo by himself, and that's not too bad. But Resurgence on the other side received no casualties at all, so they're very happy with their current performance, and they need to get themselves a little bit more looted up before they move in towards the circle, especially near coal mine.
Yeah, which being hogged by none other than Bigetron, who apparently just marched himself there. They found sleep. They will finish sleep. They actually baited sleep.
Pan kill!
Yes! Yes! I feel like such a jock when that happens.
You actually sound like exactly what you think you are. There you go. But Traitor back to Dingoz. Okay, how do... You see the difference between H2O... You get me now, right? The bottom teams where they actually didn't actually try to make things out for them by just sitting still, not to even get extra information and just wait to be rushed in. The same goes for Traitor H2O. There's also, who was it just now? Divinity was doing a little bit okay than the rest of them.
It's kind of hard to say because it is a tight situation there, and I would say Divinity, they had a really good chance of actually beating Team Secret as well. But it's just the roll of the dice, honestly. Just the roll of the dice. If you're lucky enough to catch the guys, land your shots in a high-pressured situation, again, you can try to turn it into your favor, but no matter what, I still see it as a bit of a 50-50 if you are going for a rush with a full squad.
Well, I still think it's H2O not making the right actions because they actually approached Team Secret's compound first, meaning that when they approach, they must have an idea in their mind that, okay, what am I going to do if situation A, situation B, situation C happens, because you made that preemptive movement. If it happens on the other way around, then yeah, maybe we can have that conversation again.
Oh,
but
that's fair.
It's you made that initiative.
Oh, that is a very good angle to actually take it by. And in that case, yeah, I would agree that it was taken a little haphazardly. But let's look at Bigetron over here as they look down on Team NoRecoil hiding within the town. They have slightly on the high ground. However, on the other edge of the coal mine, the Dingoz as well as Traitors are just camping out. Oh, and Impunity as well, huh? What do you know?
Well, that explains everything, don't they? I just still want to stand my point here. I do wish they take more information. Just sending somebody out a little bit fan out, covers a little bit more grounds, and just pass back to the team. You don't even have to engage. Just sneak peek away some angles at the corners and making sure that this you can actually pass out around the team that, okay, there's one team here, there's one more here, and where should we run if this happen? Like, plan things out, because apparently what you're doing right now is just being sitting ducks. You're not going to get information, you're not going to rush, and you just wait for your timely death, which gonna be really bizarre if you're actually one of those teams. But back to Tara and Resurgence, we both know these two teams are really well adapted when it comes to CQC and also long range fights. So do they want to sit this one out? Do they take up the challenge? But back to where they were before, Dingoz.
Yeah, talking about sitting out, looks like BTR, they are doing exactly what Choo Choo says. You send two people inside just to get that information. Two people on the outside, probably they have a nice view in case anyone does the rush onto their two team members. They can take those shots from a long range. So those are some of the options that you actually have for yourself, rather than just sticking into one position, just like what Traitor is doing right now and Impunity is doing right now. It's just not beneficial to their team. Dingoz is actually doing the same thing as well.
I would argue that this is their safest bet. I'm pretty sure they're very aware that Dingoz and Traitor, if for Impunity side, that Dingoz and the Traitors are nearby, and the same goes for the Dingoz as well as the Traitors. They know exactly who is in the compound, so if they do send a scout out, there's a potential that he's going to get gunned down before the fight even starts, and then you already start the game with, like, a disadvantage of a member.
Okay, the thing is, Dingoz is not doing exactly the same because they are sending scout for just a little bit of information. You know, you can just get a retreat back whenever you heard some footsteps. You don't even have to engage. Just information is more than enough. That's what the team needed. At least they have the idea how many teams or how many person are there around there somewhere, and where should they be going next, and what their plans next. Like Sir Cloud said, you taking a step every single time, it means that you have something already planned out 10 steps ahead. But if you're not planning anything, just sit everything out and making sure that you're just going to be saved by camping, I don't think that's going to work in this league.
Wait, hold on. Let's look at Iron Pro as Y2K as well has his back right now in terms of cover, but it looks like Tara is getting ready for a potential push coming in from RSG here on the northern side of the map.
Yes, and RSG looks like they do know. Probably they heard some footsteps that Tara is in the building. So Iron Pro has his eyes on the building, being that scout. All his team members just right behind him, approaching towards the side of Iron Pro. They may want to go for it, which I do think RSG, they do have the capabilities of doing this close quarter siege if they choose to go to.
If they want to,
Yeah.
it's kind of that question now, because you do know the circle will move very soon then. This is actually the phase 4 only. And Tara, apparently they are not quite sure where they want to move here, because the wall's kind of not really working out their favors. When they stepped out of this compound, it will be discovered by none other Resurgence, because apparently they have the views on the windows as well. But back to Groza with some stocks, a quite decent one, a lot of level 3, pretty much everything that you can ask for from a loot box or airdrop there.
Yep, plenty of good stuff in there. Nobody's willing to walk out to get it. Ooh, the next circle is going to be right in between Coal Mine and Cosmodrome. This is going to cause a lot of teams to start fighting now. And again, there is too many teams here for the 5th phase. Like, come on, 12 teams, 42 still alive?
Yep, because everybody's proning right now. But back to Iron Pro, trying to get a different angle this time. And Tara will force to get out from that house. They know the moment the blue pushing in, straight away Resurgence position himself right in front of this house, which Tara has been there like forever.
Oh, and looks like Lynx now got knocked down, will be taken out by Iron Pro, and now 2 more team members of Tara is still inside the building. RSG can go for the flush out if they want to. They do have the numbers, but looks like Tara will make the run for it. They do have another vehicle, so looks like they will go for it. Long range shot being fired, but nothing connects, and they will ride off into the horizon.
Speaking of which, Dingoz, dealing with the current situation of Cosmodrome, is walking up, gets a great double kill on down members, and now High is the last member of his team as the rest of Axis coming in to finish them off. Oh, Impunity taking some damage here.
Oh, this is multi-level wall we're talking about, because some of them are actually marching on top of this building, which is Impunity. There's also Dingoz just above their head too. On the other side, no, we do have team, if I'm not mistaken, which is team number 16. That's team NoRecoil, already making sure that they camp this one out. They are actually in the center of a circle. Dingoz trying to march there with Axis going in the territory of Traitor, still holding still to the positions. Chick on there, then already knocked down at the back. Pop couple of smoke. Maybe somebody will pick him up very soon.
This just really shows the confidence level of Traitor. You see, even if they got that knock, they could just, entire team just go and rush and just go and clear it up, but they didn't even move. They got themselves locked down at the 2nd floor, and now they're just down. They have everything. They have the higher ground while going down the stairs. They can jump, they can surprise them from the windows. They have all these options, but just look at this. Traitor is not moving at all.
You know, maybe they're scared of the unpredictables. That's why they are really, really worried about their positioning if they move even a muscle. But looking at the state, if they're not moving, we will have a World War III coming up very soon. We do see Dingoz marching up with Tone Wow Esport at the sides there, and Impunity marching as well. Resurgence on the other end trying to get a go with Nat, who apparently will be clumped between Team NoRecoil from the back.
I mean, so far so good. I think Resurgence now has a pretty decent position. We're going to have to see whether it's going to be prime position when the other teams start coming through. But just look, BTR as well as Tara on the northern side are making their way over, but Traitor has to deal with the next problem. Axis at hand, the Micro Uzis are in play. He is holding this narrow angle, making sure that nobody can actually go through, with Asta backing him up in the next room.
Oh, and looks like Asta now tries to spray out, but then again, spray do connect, but not good enough. Chick looks like he's been knocked down, but then again, he will crawl back to his team members. RP has been taken out into the lobby, and now Traitor still hanging on to level 2. Revise will come out, and they need to reset themselves quickly because the circle is just on the edge of them.
Yeah, but they don't have that much time. Only 30 seconds left. It will be the 7th phase we were talking about, which means it will clip a lot of HP if you're tanking off the blue. Maybe 2 to 4% there. And back to Axis. Esport, Axis seems to be working well this time around. Traitor, on the other hand, still hogging the corners. They don't want to move. They don't want to budge. They really don't want to actually engage into this. Well, if you don't want to go, people will actually get a go at you. Even though you got quite a lot number of gears here, if you don't utilize it it's fully, it's not going to be beneficial at all. On the side note here, Rose Esport trying to challenge Bigetron on top of this hill. There's also Kevin, if I'm not mistaken. It's a different level of compound there. Quite high out. Have a bird's eye view. Trying to rush in. Omar trying to get the corners. Oh, Zollies! They're already knocked down.
Yep, looks like Zali's been knocked down, and now bridge camping will happen here for Kevin. Kevin has his teammates on the other side of the bridge, but then again, he cannot do anything. Zali will be sent back to the lobby, and now Miss Rose Esports and Towwow Esports all on the other side of the bridge. The circle is on the side of BTR at this point. They are somewhat in the middle of the circle. They can still hang on to this.
Yep, 2 of their members still left. They need to start gatekeeping as Axis start pushing through on the eastern side of the map. They're walking up as Miss Rose. Also, everybody is just scrambling to get into this circle. It's all out war.
Oh, but the Dingoz have to stuck in between that river.
No.
Really frozen river is freezing there. Oman just have to rush in around net. How hopefully they didn't discover Dingoz there. Impunity coming up from the northern side. While Rose Esports and they kind of segregated. They finish off Maisel who stuck in between, and Atai just making sure he heal himself and replenish themselves as fast as they can. Because apparently the circle will be really favoring those who are actually inside of this pit of a river.
Oh yes, so now Atai looks like he's stuck in between in the river right now. I'm not sure if that will be a good position as the circle closes in, because now we do see the circle is somewhere in the river, but it will depend on the next circle whether it goes up or still in the middle of the river. It depends. And now it looks like Ikuda has been taken down by the play zone and sent back to the lobby.
Axis, unfortunately they're going to be knocked out too. But again, the center of the circle is absolute chaos here in the frozen river of Vikendi as Miss Road Esports. They're running out of utilities to throw into the valley as well. So that valley is now the Valley of Death. Resurgence on the northern side. They should be able to hold that high ground here, looking real nice. And the same goes for Team NoRecoil. They are just trying to stay out of this frozen river of death.
Oh, Team NoRecoil is trying to hold the higher ground, spot themselves with sauce, almost clipping over half HP gun. He only have 50% left. Team NoRecoil at the same time contesting that kill against Resurgence, apparently just tunneling down that vision on Wixos as well. On the side of Bigetron, they are actually moving on, playing the terrain quite well. They don't have to be in the pit. If they want to, they can, but it's safer to be playing around the shoreline here and quite in a higher level ground as well.
Bigetron arguably have the best position so far because of that high ground, because they're in the middle of the circle. Arguably this is their game. Plus they do have 4 team members still intact, and now Y2K looks like he's clipping onto Stewart, and Stewart now will need to be really careful, but Stewart at the same time is pressured to need to move into the circle because the circle will now close in. Sinbi got a couple of hits there. At the same time, they're just holding Team NoRecoil while crossing the river.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good idea coming in from Resurgence. They know they have prime position and they're making sure they're punishing it. Sinbi is the first to go down to Y2K. That's a great knockdown, but you can see Stuart 9K coming in with the van as well, going into the Valley of Death. We're going to have to wait and see, but I really think that Resurgence have a great chance of taking this game.
Oh, Kevin trying to hold his position right, making sure he didn't flinch that much because it will be discovered on the map. At the same time, Volky is down on top of that. I think Kido just made Dan knowing that he exposed himself by that spray just now with the G260 in his hand, trying to get on Y2K. But there you go. Return damage and being punished straight upon. And there you go. Avi made sure themselves got at the 6th spot. They're now down to top 5 teams going for the chicken dinner.
Yeah, Volky's in trouble. He's just crawling into the circle. He won't be able to make it out, and that's going to be a casualty to the play zone. That is super unlucky. RSG's chances is starting to dwindle down the more members they lose. Boyka and Kevin completely separated there, just hoping they don't get caught just yet.
Oh, it's just so many colors in a really small circle. Now RSG, they still have the high ground which they can hang on to, but then again the final circle will be in the valley. This is not looking good for those teams who need to move into the valley, because some areas behind the valley where they have stones, where they have blockage, they have them covered up. Resurgence, they have 20 seconds to decide how they want to do this, because yeah, they do have the high ground, but then again, let's just look at other teams. They have secured themselves behind structures, behind rocks, and these are actually good cover. BTR arguably have the best location for now.
Yeah, we are talking about multi-level terrain and so many structures, like you said, Cloud, to work with for the rest of a team here. Might possibly will be ended up with a healing game if we will force into the 9th phase, which is very, very soon. Hopefully, most of the teams are actually having enough utilities for that, but Ned apparently wants to get it a go. I can see that he's trying to surround Rose Esports Syndicate on another angle there. At the same time, Resurgence doesn't seem to land any visualization on any of the team just beneath them because of how steep the structures are.
Yeah, low ground is looking pretty good now that the rest of the teams. However, Rose Esports will have to start moving out real soon to hopefully secure some kills before this game ends. Atai as well as Boyka still around. Looks like they have a... Oh, sorry. Atai from Ned is still actually holding around, but Boyka is going to be on his knees. Y2K trying to clear out Bigetron here. That's not too bad. Bigetron is going to be bowing out now, and because of this, RSG will be able to control this middle ground.
Yes, RSG can get themselves into the circle, and again, that is prime position right now because of the high ground that they have. They can just look down if they want to take those shots, which they don't need to. They can just let the circle do the job for them. But just look at this. Insomnus, he's all alone at one side and nobody knows he's there. Small boy can kind of peek there if he want to, but it's going to be tough. If I were Resurgence, I'll just sit this out for now, let the Blue Zone do its job.
I think sometimes the moment he just tried to pick out to see the location of any other teams nearby, he will get straight headshot there and he will be out. So it's better safe than sorry. Staying in that corner is the best option for now. Rose Esports is playing at the narrow area they're working with, and it's kind of hard to drop even a nade at this point because of how uneven the rocks are, and you can't possibly land any nades on this point. But Iron Pro still going for more. Look at that, trying to flash out Rose Syndicate, force them to fight. He got visualization straight away the moment Jojo realized that they actually on top of them, trying to play with the structures there.
Yep, and now RSG has hit the 10 kill mark. That's the most kills than everybody else in this particular game. So long as well, going into the 9th circle. It's going to be tough here. It looks like it's going to be the healing game. 31 minutes, the longest game so far. Jojo is the next to fall to net. Atai, Iron Pro going in ham. They take out Atai. However, they're getting chunked out pretty hard here. They're running in towards the circle. It's going to be a healing game. It's a healing game.
The blue, and no Iron Pro, no healing at all. Oh my goodness me! That was really close. I told you so. The structure is really hard for Resurgence to pull it out, but they won by just one medkit. Rose Esports got themselves a really big chicken dinner this time, smashing it out in the face of RSG, and they will be salty.
Oh my god, that is so unfortunate for RSG. They took quite a bit of chip damage just dropping down to the next level, and they didn't have enough time to actually heal. Oh, that